You meet God, He gives you one chance to ask anything to Him, but it has to be a question that answers yes or number. What question will you ask to God? Do humans have free will? Although you are omniscient and claim to know everything that has happened, is happening and will happen? I would love to say not. I wouldn't take it, but I know for a fact I would. I also wish I could say it's purely because of how curious I am about the future, but honestly, I am pretty afraid of death lol. Really depends on the type of immortality. Do you stay the age you became immortal, or does your body continue to age until you are trapped in a body that can't do anything? Do you heal at an accelerated rate? Will you still be sane when you have hundreds of years of memories? Thousands? Are you the only immortal? Do you have to stay hidden to not become a specimen? Full immortality, or do you have a kryptonite? Achilles heel? I like the idea of immortality, but it could easily be a trap. I have hope for the future. People say you definitely get bored in the long term, and I definitely can't refute that, since no one's ever experienced it, but I don't think you can say that's an absolute either. I can easily imagine a future a billion years from now where I've got a futuristic body where you've got control of all the stupid chemical hacks that evolution kludged into your brain to keep things running, and I'm no longer vulnerable to things like depression, boredom, anxiety, or overtolerance to stimuli. These things aren't universal constants, built into the metaphysics, they're just flaws in our ape design. Get all of that handled and you can just, live. Have a nice time, be content, take on large projects, don't worry about wasting time. Obviously, this is predicated on the offer being no aging or death due to disease or violence. Not a genie curses you to live forever even if you're buried under a mountain. I would take it, look after my kids till they pass on, etc. 8. In reality, I would go about bringing the world to heel under the banner of the God Emperor and establish the Imperium, then tell Elon Musk and NASA to get their asses into gear and start developing cruisers. Then we would travel through space and colonize every planet we come across, smiting all our enemies along the way. Warhammer Space Marines. I absolutely would take it. Fix up the scrap heap of a body, and get to work on as much science education as I could possibly get. With enough time, I could catch up with the subject and maybe even make some discoveries of my own to help humanity. It depends on the conditions. I'd accept immortality if it came on my terms. If it was just immortality in our current world, I think I'd think about it, but probably not do it. If others' things could also be changed, if I could share this immortality with others, if I could remain young, then yes, but immortality only, with no others' benefits, probably not. What kind of immortality? Depends on the immortality restrictions. Imagine eternal suffering because you did something stupid and now you're constantly being crushed forever in constant pain, or you dove in a volcano constantly regenerating and burning all the time unable to breathe. Yes, of course, I can explore the world and the universe without fear of the void. I can watch civilizations rise and fall. I can become a guiding mentor to humanity since I'll have seen it all and can provide valuable advice. I would also allow scientists to study me to try to replicate the secret of immortality. We can all live forever. It depends. 1. Which type of immortality will I get? Will I be able to live forever and regenerate from fatal wounds, or just be able to live forever? 2. Will I be able to kill myself some way? After 15 million years it will get pretty boring to live, and at that point I'll probably want to end it all. 3. Will I retain my memory, or will I start forgetting people from my past because I'll have no memory space for new memories? Of course, sure, eternity will probably get boring as hell, But if that is the price I have to pay for witnessing the entire human race's time left in the universe, I'll take it. Wouldn't be the first time my curiosity gets me in trouble. Not and for these reasons. 1. Don't wanna see my family and friends die and watch the world go to shite. 2. Considering immortality does not make me invincible, but just means I can't die. I don't wanna have a fatal accident that would render me a vegetable but I would still be alive. That would just suck. 3. I would probably be extremely paranoid that something bad would happen to me that would permanently affect my health, physically/emotionally/mentally, that I'd have to carry with me for eternity. 4. If there is a world-ending accident, I don't wanna be caught in the middle of it. So in conclusion, all things must pass. What kind are we talking? Are we talking age immortality where we're just young but still confer? If so, yes. If it is true immortality where I pain, and even if it one where I didn't, hell no, it would be only if I could have like a whole school worth of people join me. Number: definitely not. You'd have to watch your loved ones die. You'd probably go insane. And what are the chances that you'll keep yourself completely healthy throughout the years? Besides, we all saw that one episode of The Twilight Zone, so never commit a crime. Okay, let's be logical here. It seems like a really great superpower to have at first, but it's actually not. If you don't have a purpose in life, it can work against you. Now consider if you have diseases such as diabetes mellitus or disorders, malfunctions, chronic illnesses. It's gonna stay with you forever as your growth is mainly dependent on cell multiplication. If that stops, then any chance of rehabilitation, improvement will also dim away. You won't be able to lose weight or gain weight as your body is in a state of equilibrium. The body you had when you received the power is most probably gonna the body for the rest of your life. Your family, friends, relatives, your love, everyone's gonna die, but you'll stay the same. It's a chain of continuous torture. You meet new people, form relations, help them through life just to see them die, and the cycle continues. Not immediately, but gradually you will be neglected in society, shamed, called a monster, experimented on daily just for you beg to be killed, but you can't die. You chose it body. As technological achievements advance, you will be put in an isolation cell where only thing you hear is your own heartbeat that drive you mad. You curse yourself for letting this befall on you. How well it would have turned out if only you declined the offer, but any though, regret, struggle is futile. Human will soon run out of resources and die, or worse, kill each other through wars or through constant military struggle for power. You can only escape when the chambers becomes too old to be held together, and when you escape hoping that you'll be free and that you find a happy new life, you find out that your entire race has been wiped out. At this point your sanity comes to a standstill. You scream, shout, do anything, make any attempt to be heard. You regret your decision-making, every move to kill yourself, but you fail every time, and at one point you just give up. You start crying. You keep crying for days, weeks, months, years, 200 no 1,000 years, until you stop feeling anything. You contemplate your life, your decisions, realizing that you stopped being human the day you attained these powers. All puzzles come together, forming the absolute truth. Whatever you do has no meaning. The struggles are what makes us human. How we pass through these hardships while forming relations and cherishing them, having your own children, raising them, getting old and realizing that all of the life which you led was dream, an illusion created by your brain, and that your death was a penalty paid for having been lived all these years, and that you only twice, the day you were born and the day you die, you discover the meaning of life just before being engulfed in the hot plasma flames of the now supergiant of the sun and disappear into oblivion. No way, not if I had to live forever. which is the definition of immortality. Forever means living all the way up to the eventual heat death of the universe, and existing for every single moment leading up to it. How many uncountable trillions upon trillions of years would that be? Where and what would you even be after the Earth and the solar system and all the stars and galaxies are gone? And even after the last atom in the universe decays away, when you're just a consciousness existing in empty space until the end of everything, how many times would you just go completely mad before madness itself and everything else lost all meaning? No. One of the main reasons I refuse to commit suicide is because of the people I love in my family. If I were to become immortal, I would outlive my reasons to be alive in the first place. The idea of outliving my parents already racks me with anxiety. I cannot imagine facing that reality with everyone I love. Question is, would the millions of years of events be worth the billions of years of absolute nothing but void? Chances are you are probably getting buried alive or something along the way, so you're just going to be stuck in a hole for some thousands of years. Alternatively, you will get shot into space and float around there forever. I'd do it probably though. Lol. Absolutely not. All I can think of when thinking of immortality is losing the ones you love over and over and over again. For eternity. Love is the one thing that makes life worth all the hardship, and I can't think of a worse punishment. No way. I don't know what to do with the time I have now. I can't imagine that I will have to live forever, not to mention how I would look like. I prefer another offer to take 10 years off, just leave me young forever. I'd have to say no, and the reason why is because of my family. I don't know if I would be able to watch my son and any other potential kids or grandkids that would follow live their life and pass while I would live forever. Sure, it would be nice to be able to watch technology grow and change over time, but the heartbreak each time a loved one passed, especially one of my kids, would be way too much. Depends on what kind of immortality. Do I continue to age at the same rate I am now, but just still end up living forever? Then number. Do I age at an extremely slow rate but still live forever? A maybe. Probably. Do I stop aging at all? Cool maybe. Do I stop aging and any health issues I currently have end up disappearing? Yes. Do I stop aging, have perfect health, and become invincible too? A. Almost assuredly yes. Do I age incredibly slowly, allowing me to remain in society without changing places for longer, with the aging process stopping at a certain point? No medical issues, and I become invincible? Bingo. We have a winner. Fuck yes, in a heartbeat. 100% not. Watching everyone I care about die one after another, while I'm sitting here forgetting all of them because my brain isn't built to store millions of years worth of memory, would be very sad and lonely. Fuck that. Yeah, no thanks. Imagine watching every person you've ever loved dying and leaving you alone. Everything that ever brought you joy, eventually gone. Even if you find someone new, they'll eventually die and the cycle starts again. You'll outlast society, the human race, the earth, the universe. I'm gonna put this bong down now and try not to freak out. I would take it. I think something is better than nothing. Also, it would be interesting to see the world in 300 years. Games now look sick. In 10 years they will look even better. Imagine technology in 100 years. I want to see it. If I had the ability to die when I choose to, then yes, I'd like to live forever, but with the option to end it all when I finally reach peak boredom. I don't necessarily want to live on and on and on, but a couple more centuries would be nice. I wouldn't take it. Death is an important thing in one's life. Imagine the scenario: you are happy, can do anything you want, from burning yourself to drowning yourself, but you respawn. You have all your friends. After 60 or 70 years, everyone you know died. You can't join them in the afterlife. You try to commit suicide, but you become alive again. You try to kill yourself over and over and over, but it doesn't work. This video explains in better video called Tales Can't Die that explains that immortality is bad. Number. Consider how many children you might have that you watch grow old and die, over and over. All your friends and anyone you ever care about will grow old and die, and you'll live on. There's also something else to consider, which is experiencing your own death over and over. I usually think of immortality as never dying, but it's interesting to consider the Hollander form of immortality, which is that you die, and then return to life. So you could get shot, die, heal and return to life, get in an accident and die, heal, and return to life. Doesn't seem worth it to me. There was a radio discussion about immortality the other day, and one philosopher said that people being immortal would probably lead to a lot more procrastination. People would get complacent, and instead of doing and inventing stuff, people would be like, I'm immortal, I can do it some other time. Assuming I could be destroyed, yes, I wouldn't want to prevent the universe from having its heat death. One big reason for immortality would be compounding interest. Just wait for like 100 years or so and never have to worry about money ever again. Maybe get enough to buy myself a dictator of the world job if I get bored. Are there strings attached? If there aren't any, like declining health in an undying body, etc., then I would say yes. I have a burning curiosity to find out what is in store for humanity and planet Earth. What are our current endeavors leading up to? What world occurrences would get swept under the rug of the forgotten, if not for your immortal historian? It would be lonesome, sure, but friends come and go anyway. I would miss people, but I'd be happy to satisfy my curiosity. Immortality with caveats I would take, like if I were to maintain the health and body of a 25-28-year-old, and I get to choose my end, 100% if I just get to live till the heat death. And number. If I did, people would get jealous, plus I wouldn't do anything productive with it, though I could prank people into believing in a god, build up a reputation, rule over some subjects and then vanish. Then 200 years later, when they begin to question whether or not I was real, I'll show up to punish their lack of faith. Then I just disappear and tend to a garden until I finally get bored. If it is that I just don't age but I can be killed, then absolutely yeah. If it is invincibility or invincibility, then hell no, because some afker will probably throw me down a hole made out of concrete and close it for me to live there absolutely forever. Even if I had gotten superpowers, probably not, because the scientists might come up with a way to capture me and to lab testing, but it depends on how overpowered I am. Of course, as long as there's some way to eventually die, so I won't be forced to watch entropy wind down long after humanity is gone. Death is both eternal and irreversible, so it makes sense to experience as much life as possible first, for the novelty if nothing else. Depends. If it's alive forever and can't die, then number. Forever means after human civilization is gone and everything. I'd probably take it if I didn't age but could still die, though that would guarantee I would die in some gruesome manner. Nah, immortality isn't a blessing, it's a curse. You'd outlive everyone you love and care about, eventually. You'd be the only living thing left in the universe after heat death. I'd rather die like a mortal. Thank you very much. I would take it cause I think it would be interesting to see how different today's life is compared to what they are told/teach people, but I would be bored af when this galaxy dies until, if I get to another galaxy, then I can adventure this new galaxy. Personally, I value the finiteness of mortality. It gives value to every moment as you have a limited amount of said moments. That being said, I feel that I am morally obliged to accept it. I feel so because if my life was truly immortal, then the knowledge that I gained and the skills learned would eventually reach a point that humanity would objectively be better off with me.